Blue, green, rival, the snifter, Gary. Gary motherfucking Oak. A boy of many names. A rival so iconic that he defined the idea of a rival and led all of us begging for more mean people. A rival so cool that he has a driving license despite only being 10 years old. And when he's not driving, he has an entourage to do the work for him. Why is this punk cooler than me? Wait, sorry, got distracted. There's a reason he's been the template for rivals for ages, and what folks are striving for rivals to be again. He's always a step ahead of you, always rubbing in how much better he is than you, and honestly, he's just kind of a wee prick. And it's an amazing motivator for taking him down. But the thing is he actually as good as he says? Let's take a look at his possible teams. They're alright, I guess. He has good type coverage overall, and some good power on them. While these movesets aren't quite Barry bad, they aren't exactly the best up them either. Some of the moves are straight up weak, and as we'll see later on, he gets rid of moves and brings them back, which is annoying as all hell. Though, unlike Barreled, this fella actually evolves things at reasonable levels, for the most part anyway. Well, okay, fine. Bulbasaur evolves a little late, and he does have a few Pokemon that evolve illegally early. Maybe to the juvie you go, Blue. Question is though, is this team reasonable enough? Can he realistically actually become champion with this? These are the important questions that I ask, because I don't know, I'm bored I guess. I feel someone has to ask this, not really. Let's see what we can do. My name's Cam. I'm comically bad at Pokemon despite playing it all my life, and I want to see if, despite that, I can beat Pokemon Leaf Green as Blue. I wanted to call him Gary throughout this video, but Gary's technically a different character, so Blue it sadly is. Maybe one day I'll do a Gary run. Here's my rules. 1. Must use Blue's exact team, same movesets and held items. 2. Cannot use Pokemon before Blue would. 3. No items in battle other than held items. 4. Each Blue fight acts as a checkpoint, allowing me to use stuff from his next battle. And there's the rules. Anyway, let's go! For our starter, I refer to a poll I posted on Twitter, Yuck, in May, where I asked everyone for their favourite Gens 1, 8 and 9 starters. What nobody knew, at least I assume they didn't know, was that it was for future videos. Bulbasaur won with 8 votes, the Squirtle's 5 and Charmander's 3, so I guess we're using the dinosaur frog. I name him Nick. I had to redo this rival fight, along with the early game, a lot due to OBS issues. And very annoyingly, I almost had to again here, even though I guess winning doesn't really matter for it, but I'm a stubborn wee bastard, you know. But thankfully a clutch crit gets us the W despite it looking rocky for the most part. After doing a quest for Professor Oak, we catch a Pidgey called Athena. I'm sure yous are all seeing the naming theme now. On Route 22, we do the optional Rival 2 fight versus Ash. And as it's still early game Pokemon, it's just a bit of a slugfest. Thankfully, we're able to tackle our way through. To celebrate our win, I catch a Rattata, who we name Mia, after my wonderful, beautiful wife. Going into Brock, I'm feeling extremely and comically confident. After all, we have a Bulbasaur. And, yeah, so spamming Vine Whip a couple times, as you would expect, is all it takes to beat the so-called rock-hard Onyx man's team in one fell swoop. Still, what a relief after the weirdly hard rock fight in Shining Pearl. On the way to Mount Moon, I realise Mia has the wrong ability, so I have to let her go. So long, my dear. Shortly after, we catch a replacement Rattata, who we call Asogi, after my husband. At the Mount Moon Poké Center, I decided it would be funnier to buy a Magikarp now, instead of catching a better one later. Like the fool that I am. Welcome to the box, Emma. I'll see you in a few badges. I feel like it's lore that if you're a challenge YouTubist, you have to show what fossil you chose. So, to satisfy the folks out there and to not get arrested, I chose the Dome Fossil. Please stop sending me letters asking, how did you even get my address? We do a little bit of level grinding after leaving Mount Moon and evolve Athena into Pidgeotto. And while we can't quite catch an Abra yet, unlike our cheater rival, we're as ready as we can be to fight him. For some absolutely completely baffling reason, versus Ash, I am completely obsessed with using Sleep Seed strats versus his Rattata. And, well, I lose because of it quite a lot in some off-screen attempts. But in this attempt here, I'm able to actually stay alive thanks to the Leech Seed. And it helps us chip away at his team until all he has left is a useless Abra with exclusively Teleport. Unlike my new Abra, Maya, who, okay, admittedly, also only has Teleport, but I would never, ever call Maya useless. Nick evolves into an Ivysaur for a very much needed power boost for this team, and I'd love to say we get to show that off at the gym, but for some reason I decide I'll try and only use a Sogi for the majority of the battle. I don't remember why or what I was thinking. Hyper Fang though does a surprising amount of damage through Double Harden to severely weaken Misty Staryu, or as I have in the script, to several weaken? How tired was I when I wrote this bit? Sadly, a quick Super Potion heal into Water Pulse knocks out a Sogi, forcing a switch to Nick. Well, in theory, I should have just spammed Vine Whip, as I should have done from the jump. Maybe pass me one to the equality with the team's levels? I don't know what they were thinking, just as I don't know why they spammed Sleep Seed instead of again just using Vine Whip. Just go for the easy win. This isn't competitive, Can. Just use the big attacking move, damn it. Though, at least Leech Seed nets us the win when Vine Whip doesn't grab us the Oko. Shortly after beating Misty, we evolve Maya and Asogi, and get a few more levels, so that we're ready to fight our rival again. This time, on a boat. Tangentially, when I was a wee lad, I was always feared that if I left the SS Anne before completing it, I'd be soft locked and never get to finish the game. Genuinely, this gave me nightmares. In my defense, I was only 4 years old. Anyhow, despite his best efforts, spamming Sand Attack cannot stop Maya from confusingly attacking Pidgeotto, and then his Raticate. In the Raticate Ditto, of course, Sogi reigns supreme, due to a mix of higher level, and, honestly, just being a bit of a cooler rat. My man, my guy. He could beat up Stuart Little any day. And he continues to be my man, after making quick work of the rest of Ash's team. But now we finally reach our first roadblock of the run. Lieutenant Double Team. Search. Easy mistake to make. Asogi is able to destroy everything up until the Raichu begins to just dodge everything. Now, I'm not sure what happened next after Nick starts getting power haxed, because shortly after, I lost my footage. Eventually I have to reset, it seems though. Take 2 starts the same way as the first battle, with me spamming Hyper Fang, though Pikachu does dodge a couple. This time, Leech Seed makes sense though. I just want consistent damage through the double teams, and thankfully it appears to work, as eventually we're able to chip away and heal a little until Raichu finally faints. Sadly though, with a heavy heart, we must now part with Asogi. He's had an amazing run and been the MVP thus far, and while he could have went with us a little bit longer, the underworld is calling for him. Let us salute our fallen hero. Kazuma Asogi, you will be missed. After parting ways with Asogi and doing
a hell of a lot of grinding, Emma evolves into Gyarados. Sadly one who won't learn any water moves for a long time. But still, amazing Pokemon to have. Entering Giovanni, you may notice a new addition to our team. When I chose Leaf Green, because most people talk about Fire Red, and I'm an annoying hipster, I had totally forgotten that Growlithe was version exclusive. But, thankfully, my uncle Game Freak was willing to trade me Apollo here. He does absolutely nothing in the battle but get switch training and use Intimidate versus Geo's ground types. Thankfully, Giovanni himself isn't too hard other than his overleveled Kangaskhan, which admittedly does completely and utterly tear through our team. Whew. But, once it's gone, we beat him incredibly easily enough. If only that Kangaskhan wasn't such a pain. To be honest, I maybe played a little too scared with the final Apollo Intimidate switch. I think Nick would have been fine there. With Polly on our side, I feel very confident for Erica. Except he's so underleveled that poison is enough to make him faint after defeating only one Pokemon. Okay. Rip. Well, thankfully we do have Athena as backup, and her flying moves are able to make very quick work of Erica for a pretty easy first try victory. On to Pokemon Tower, where we find Ash in the denial phase of grief after losing his own Raticate. I've been there, brother, but it's time to beat some acceptance into you. We take out the Pidgeotto with ease. That being said, even with double Intimidate, taking down this Gyarados is a massive pain. Unfortunately, it still can just do so much damage, but eventually we are able to take it out. And then after that, just like with Erica, none of the start of the battle actually mattered, because Athena, wanting to avenge Asogi and wanting to be the new MVP, is able to sweep half of his team, allowing Maya to deliver the final blow on Charmeleon. Now, go pay your respects, Ash. With Team Rocket defeated off screen, we can now progress the game. Except I have two realizations here. 1. Thanks to our rivals Alakazam knowing moves we've previously deleted, I need to go to the move relearner on the Sevi Islands. Which means I have to beat Blaine before I can fight the next rival. Which means I have to fight Koga next. Then Blaine. And then finally Sabrina. What could ever go wrong? B. We have another BDSP strength moment on our hands, where I had totally forgotten to get the bike, so we can't even go to Fuchsia yet. Bugger. Let's go get that. After that minor slip up though, we learn we're incredibly underleveled for Koga, and his muck just sets up on us before sweeping us easily. Should I put it to sleep? Yes. Am I realising this too late because I realised this as I'm writing the script? Also, yes. Could I have evolved Maya into Alakazam? Also, yes. Am I realising this too late while writing the script again? Also, yes. I might not be the brightest or sharpest tool in the shed. Speaking of evolutions, during grinding for Koga, Nick evolves into his most powerful form. Flower, Frog, Lawyer. Just wanted to say real quick now that we're around halfway both through the video and the game, that I'm currently aiming to reach 200 subs by the end of winter. So if you're enjoying the video, feel free to give me a like and subscribe. Or don't. Do what you want. I ain't your da. Anyway, back to the video. At level 35, and starting with Maya, some confusion spam is all it takes to sweep most of Koga's team, with a team effort chipping away at Weezing, making for a not easy, but not too rough badge either. Don't even ask, I can't remember how many tries this took, but I was so happy when we finally were able to get the W. I do remember how many tries Blaine took though, when we were severely underleveled without a water move. And let's just say It's pretty embarrassing. It's a lot of takes. Whew. Thanks to some bad plays and just being objectively weaker than Blaine, level-wise, we're barely able to make it even past his Ponyta first try, let alone reach his Rapidash and Arcanine. Oh, so disheartening. We do give it a few more shots before grinding some. And in the grind, we do evolve Athena into Pidgeot. But that's not the only evolution we have here. Oh no. At this moment, I also finally remember I can evolve Kadabra into Alakazam. So I contact Mr. Freak, who helps me out on screen again. On our 8th attempt, with levels closer to Blaine's, well, other than his insane Arcanine's level, I completely waste Apollo trying to do stat drop nonsense. I then continue to do the nonsense with Emma, but at least here it feels like it's being a little bit more productive. From here, Maya does a mix of Calm Mind, Recover and Future Sight to just chip away more and more Rapidash and to heal. Future Sight makes this take absolutely forever. I wish we had Psychic. But finally, Rapidash goes. I don't know why I switched afterwards and lost all of my boosts. But we repeat the same strat versus Ponyta, and eventually we're able to OHKO it. Now, it's a 2v1 versus Arcanine, and we're probably about to lose. Wait, Poison Chip? Oh my god, and the Future Sight that I totally had forgotten about? And then Blaine, like an idiot, just heals the poison instead of going for the KO? What the hell just happened? I was actually so stunned that I won this one that I sat there in silence for like a whole last 30 seconds. Which is why nothing's actually happening here in the footage. Lol. Going to self-company, I bet you're asking, Cram, you handsome and inspirational non-binary devil, you. Love of my life. Did you grind here? And I have to admit, with my head in my hands, no. And if you ask why, well, am I an idiot? Aww, beans. Anyway, rival time. After that totally planned and calculated Blaine win, I'm feeling confident as all hell. Dragon Rage has started falling off, but the consistent damage is enough for me to keep using it and for it to somehow work. I mean, consistent damage is consistent damage, and at least it's not Twister. I weaken the Gyarados with Feather Dance so we can tank hits better, before then 3 wing attacks take it out. We still don't have a water move, but Dragon Rage is enough to weaken Charizard. Athena is then able to take out the Fire Beast, and easily eats the eggs for breakfast. Yum yum! Wait, it's a bit weird if a bird's eating eggs, right? And it's doing it with Alakazam's spoon. I don't know how to tie Alakazam into this. My bad. Anyway, Athena is the MVP. That's my point. As with last time, Giovanni is pretty easy, thanks to the team being actually on level for once in this goddamned run. And, not only that, our team's got a decent power level to it. I do keep fishing for a Future Sight, but in the end it isn't even needed, as we get to crit on Razorleaf. Honestly, I still could have played this battle better and not lost half my team, but whatever, it's still a first try victory. We take those! Now it's time for our final party member. Meet Godot, the Rhyhorn, who we have to massively grind up before battling my childhood video game crush, Sabrina, my beloved. She's actually pretty easy. Dragon Rage does just enough to tear through half her team thanks to their low physical defense, and even Twister gets a use against the odds. One of the worst moves I've ever used. In the Alakazam Ditto, we both spam Calm Mind, with me very occasionally disabling her attacks. Unfortunately, it's not enough for Maya to survive. but it is enough to chip away until a wing attack from Athena gets us a first try W. And now, finally, we get the shocking reveal that Giovanni, leader of Team Rocket, was also the final gym leader. Oh my god! So here's our final Giovanni fight. Hydro Pump spam, my beloved. Going more pure ground for your gym was maybe a tad silly, Mr. Vanny. You should maybe bring back your Kangaskhan. It was the biggest threat in the previous teams. Don't ask me why I sent out everyone but Maya. I literally have no clue what I was thinking at the time, if I was at all. But in the end, we don't even need her, as everyone takes out Nidoqueen together, and then a Hydro Pump vs Nidoking gets us another easy first try victory. Returning to Route 22, we have our totally final rival fight, where we'll never have to fight him ever again afterwards. Here we take advantage of type matchups to easily take out half of his team, with a couple bad Hydro Pump misses, sadly making us lose Emma in the meantime. This time our Calm Mind disable strats when fighting Sabrina actually do work, and thus Ash will never be smelt again. Before we tackle the Elite Four, we evolve our final two party members. Here's how my final team is looking before we go fight the Elite Four for the first time. Underleveled, with some bad moves, sure, but surprisingly solid, I'd say. Can we actually do this though? That's the question. Well, if Lorelei first try is a sign of things to come, no, we can't do this. I haven't quite developed a plan yet, so I'm just throwing things at the wall, and the Dugong takes out Emma easily, and after that we just struggle to break through Lapis's bulk due to a mix of bad luck, bad switches, and just how incredibly frustrating Confusory is to deal with. And eventually, yeah, we lose. Despite not wanting Nick to be too much higher level, I think we just have to use him if we want to win. So in our next attempt, I open with Sunny Day, Solar Beam, and make it to Lapras, who we almost one-hit KO, but not quite, sadly. And then after that, for some bizarre reason, I send out my Flying type. I am a very silly person. Bad Confusion Lock strikes again too! Yippee! But against all odds, we do make it to Cloyster, who, even with a lucky double protect, can't do as much to Emma as she can do to it. So we're able to win the Slugfest. I willingly sack Emma here, just to let out Apollo for free, and he's able to narrowly get us a win. What an inconsistent fight, thanks to me playing like an absolute buffoon. Athena struggles more versus Hitmonchan in our first Bruno attempt than I expected. As with the Giovanni fight, I'm not sure why I refused to just use Maya to sweep his team easily. Maybe due to fear of the Machamp KO with how low health I was? Or maybe the Hitmonlee? I don't know. But I'm happy to announce that I do use Maya more in future attempts. Instead, we just Hydro Pump the Rock and Ground types and slam any move we can into the fighting ones to get a very messy first try victory. Bruno's meant to be a joke? Why was I so weirdly stubborn? Versus Agatha, I forget that Gengar used to have Levitate in Gen 3. Though, at least here, I accept Maya is the wave, and just spam Psychic to sweep most of her team. Sadly, her second Gengar outspeeds us, and I just don't use Bite versus it for ages, despite being super effective. How tired was I when I first tried the Elite Four? So many silly mistakes. Still, an easy victory. Lance though. This fight sucks. Mostly because Outrage just rips through us like a paper bag. Even after we get rid of one Dragonair spamming Outrage, the other comes out and also spams it. We just lose too much ground way too quickly. And it becomes clear to me we need extra levels if we want to even get remotely close to winning this, let alone actually being able to win this. Not even a triple hitting itself in confusion was enough for us to get the W. Though, with a lot of work, we are able to somehow make it to the Dragonite, where we instantly eat shit and die. Lorelei is more consistent than ever, with Nick as an opener, and with our level increase. Though, admittedly, Laps's bulk continues to piss me off. This thing just takes so long to take down. Why is it a 2-hit KO when we're 5 levels higher? Jinx also slows things down with sleep and attract strats, but thankfully Apollo Justice is gay and therefore cannot be seduced by a woman. He's able to fight through it and spam flamethrower to get us the win. Honestly, Lorelei is pretty easy now that we've got those levels and an actual consistent strat that we've practiced. Whew, what a relief. Bruno's ground types do not stand a chance versus Earthquake, nor do his fighting types versus Psychic, so we're able to actually move on essentially immediately. Shockingly, we lose Maya instantly to a Shadow Punch versus Agatha. I'm spooked, no pun intended. No, genuinely, I didn't actually realise it was a ghost stroke when I wrote this in the script. And then Apollo spams Flamethrower and Bite to get us a pretty easy sweep. At least until Agatha decides to cheat and ignore Sleep Claws. Disgusting! Things get touch and go from here. But in the end, I have faith in Polly and in his Flamethrower Bite combination. And he's able to get us the win again. Bro is honestly the MVP of this Elite Four run. Him and Maya anyway. Sadly, Athena seems to have fallen off a little. What a shame. I don't even know what number this Lance fight was, but it's a wired one, trust me. I wasn't even trying to win here. This was just a scouting match. This is the first time I ever used the open with Nick strategy versus Lance. And so far it's working. I don't know how. Nick easily takes out Gyarados and has a cut survival versus Aerodactyl stab super effective wing attack, so another Solar Beam takes it out too. Here versus Dragonite I just stall and try to chip away a little. Then a couple Rock Tombs take it out too, and I let Godro go down. I want the safe switch after all. Psychic now does a ton to the Dragonair duo thanks to all the leveling up. And this lets Apollo get an extreme speed to give us the win. Oh my god. I genuinely didn't expect to beat Lance here. I thought this was going to take a few more tries. I was floored. I was completely and positively floored here. Still, at least we're the champion now. Whew. What a relief. What a great run. Ended a lot earlier than I expected. Incredible stuff. Wait, sorry. What's that? Ash? He beat the Elite Four before us? Biggest twist of the century. Well, I guess it was 25 plus years ago anyway. Maybe not so much now. I'm feeling quite confident into the champion thanks to the Route 22 battle being a bit of a wash for him. So, confident actually that I maybe totally forgot to recover my PP after the Lance fight and only realised here. And also unfortunately, it seems that Ash has learned what switching is, so I can't just drop Tomb Pidgeot to death immediately. As always though, Hydro Pump makes quick work of things, but when the Executor comes out, my incredibly underleveled Athena can't do much. Like I said, she's kind of fallen off, despite being a mid-game MVP. Is this why his 27 star in her hasn't been announced yet? Thankfully, Apollo is able to take over and get rid of the coconut tree, but a lack of Solar Beam PP makes Gyarados a pain, and sadly, Emma just doesn't have the levels to outspeed Charizard and easily KO it. Maya is able to take out the Charizard narrowly, but soon his Alakazam and I are just stalling each other out, and it's a fight that, honestly, I can't win. So, I reset. Shockingly close though, for such little PP. After a few more goes, we get this attempt. I use Feather Dance to force out a Pidgeot switch, and then Hydro Pump kills Rhydon as always. Rock Tomb then 2-hit KOs his Pidgeot, and while Polly can't KO Executor between its bulk or level and a Full Star, he's able to at least burn it and force yet another switch. Now that he is PP, Nick can Growth away, and then eventually Solo Beam the now very confused Gyarados, along with the Alakazam. I switch Emma into Charizard, who sadly does faint literally instantly, but we punish a lucky miss with a lucky Rock Tomb hit. I used lucky maybe too much in that sentence. Then, after sacking Godot, one last Flamethrower is able to get us the win, and thus, the championship. In the end, this run was infinitely harder than I expected. Between bad move choices, having to do the gyms in a weird order, and me making lots and lots and lots of stupid mistakes, I found it really challenging when I thought it would be a breeze. Still, I had a great time overall. This game was my childhood, and it was delightful revisiting it. Still, what about the question in the title? Can we beat Pokémon Leaf Green with Blue's exact team? It's a resounding yes! As long as you have a friend to trade with. Oh, the next question is, should you? If you want. And the final question is, can someone better at this children's RPG than me, at the time of recording, a 29-year-old person, do it? Yeah, very easily. Honestly, this should not have been as much of a challenge as it was. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. And thanks to my Twitch subscribers. The Worst Muppet, Arhoon, Hugh, Benji's Dump, and Fantastic Fantastic. Without your support, this video couldn't have been made. And to any future coffee supporters, thank you too. And everyone else, thanks for watching. Have a good one, folks. Love you. I'll see you in the next video.